Hey RD friends, this is a quick review of my new HB Color LaserJet Pro M254DW. I just love those names that don't actually mean anything so you can't remember it. It's made by HP. It is a wireless printer with a touch screen. Already I have printed stickers on photo paper. I've done a number of prints on just regular copier paper, and I've done some printing on nicer HP presentation paper. I'm going to show you guys those. This is a auto duplexing toner printer for home or office use, and I purchased this because I do a lot of mini comics, and my partner and I agreed that it was time to go for an auto duplexing machine. Our prior machine, which was a small Dell toner printer, you guys can check that out by checking out some of my Making Minis comics, did not do auto duplexing, and it was very prone to failure. I'd actually gone through 2 of those. So this HP toner printer has one dedicated paper drawer. The paper drawer does not seem, when it's pulled in, or pushed in rather, when it's closed, it doesn't seem to go further than 8.5 by 11. There is also a adjustable feed for receipts, for envelopes, for those sort of smaller things. There is a little dinky thing like this to flip out, so it'll hold the paper, it'll keep it from falling out, which was actually a problem with my Dell toner printer. And this takes really big toner cartridges. I will show you those. By auto duplexing, I mean it prints on both sides of the paper at the same time, so it actually makes for a I'm thinking it's going to make for a faster print time. And these are the toner cartridges. They are very large toner cartridges, much larger than what my Dell had, and these are the official ones. And these are high yield cartridges, so they shouldn't ideally be running out anytime soon. So in this review, I'm going to show you guys some of the print quality on a couple different settings, and I'm also going to show you guys how this prints duplex mini comics. I have not printed any duplex mini comics on this machine yet, so we're going to be learning this together. And I misspoke a moment ago. It actually goes all the way up to 8.4. It looks like it wants to print a test sheet right now since I opened the toner door. If you have a paper jam, you can access that in the back. It's kind of wedged in there, so I am not going to pull that out for you guys. This is the little touch screen. I'm just going to show you guys. You hit OK. If you push the question mark, you can bring up all your settings and change that. And I have it set to my home wireless, and that was a very easy setup to do. In fact, I was the one who set up this printer, and it was very straightforward. It was no problem. I should say, though, that this is actually the second of the 2 HP Color LaserJet Pro M254DW printers. The first one arrived yesterday. It was installed and it thought it had a paper jam when there was absolutely no paper inside of it whatsoever. And this is a very uncommon problem. There were no other instances of that issue mentioned online. However, we contacted HP, which kept Joseph on hold for 2 hours, and then he was on the line for 2 hours. I'm sorry. It took 2 hours for them to walk him through that process, and eventually we ended up reporting it to Amazon, who did what? Yeah, they delivered it yesterday, which was the day we realized the first one was busted, and then they picked up the first one this morning. So Amazon's customer service in regards to this printer was top notch, and if you have problems with your printer, you may find it more satisfactory to talk to Amazon about it than you might find find satisfaction with HP. HP was willing to send one next week, and then they were willing to do expedited shipping, but it still would not have arrived in time for my ALAC prep, or ALAAC prep, whereas Amazon pretty much sent it the same day. However, I do live in an area with an Amazon distribution center, so that could be a factor. So I have here some of the examples I've already printed out. These are for my ALAC prep. This was on HP's premium presentation paper. HP has a lot of different options in their print menu. A lot of them are HP options as well. This printed fairly dark, and this was on like their vivid setting. However, Pancake is a black cat, and I should have better prepared for that myself. These were printed on cheap photo laserjet printer, or laserjet paper. These are stickers, and they printed fairly well. My Dell printer started to have trouble with these, and the toner would flake off. I am not having any such issue here. And then these are printed on, these are on cheap copy paper. And even on the cheap paper, the quality is quite nice. And underneath, I have some, so these are going in a kind of a little process portfolio. And they were all printed on very cheap paper. So like Amazon copy paper, basically, the cheapest stuff. And I'm still quite pleased with the print quality. That's one of the reasons I like toner printers, and I use toner printers for printing stuff for presentation and for professional purposes. It just has really nice print quality even on cheap papers. So I'm going to check in with you guys later today when we are printing minis. Alright friends, so I did a test print. I only printed one. I'm about to do 2 copies to see how that works. But these are the settings that work so far. For a booklet like this, make sure you click flip on short edge, which is for middle binding, and do not click booklet if you've already formatted your book. I'm going to play around with this later and see if clicking booklet will make a booklet out of a series of pages, which would be really helpful for some of you guys, because that would basically mean you don't have to mess around with InDesign so long as you're printing from this printer. So I'm going to go ahead and click 2 copies. What's neat about this is, okay, so it doesn't actually print on both sides at the same time, but it sucks the page back into the printer to do double-sided printing. So this is the cover. See how it does that? Sucks it back in. The cover doesn't have anything on the other side, so it's not a great example. And in the past, I basically had to babysit my Dell printer to do duplex printing of booklets. It would skip pages, it would forget pages, pages would get unaligned. I mean, it was a mess. Hopefully this means I can just set a book to print though, and it'll print the whole thing. Like I can print however many copies I want, which would take a lot of the labor out of printing comics. And it's printing Cicada Summer now, which is a short black and white. It's like 8 pages total, 8 pages with a cover, so kind of 10 pages total, mini comic. And it looks like instead of collating, it keeps the booklets together, which is also nice. So that was pretty simple. I'm gonna go ahead now and print 25 copies of Cicada Summer. So it printed the 25 copies of Cicada Summer beautifully, and I set it to print 10 copies of Lilliputian Living, which is a slightly longer black and white mini. And now it is cooling down. It hasn't actually finished Lilliputian Living. It's about halfway through. I hope it will resume its print run. I'm just pointing this out not because I'm disappointed in its performance, but this is definitely something that's important to know. And we'll see if this causes a problem if and when it resumes. Alright, so it just started to resume, and it looks like it started where it left off, so the cool down period does not seem to cause a problem. I know with my Dell printer, any sort of interruption, even the lights flickering, could cause it to skip a page or to sort of lose sync with the queue. And it seems like this was able to pick it up pretty well. And I surmise that happened because both of these printers are communicating with my laptop through the network. So I would assume any interruption with that would probably affect communication. So today is just full of excitement. The black toner cartridge is very low. This is the first day we ran it, and it's running on, I guess, what, a half cartridge is what they usually ship with. They don't ship with full cartridges. Fortunately though, we purchased an additional set of CMYK cartridges. So once it runs out, I'm going to replace it for you guys, but I want to show you guys just how big the cartridge is. This is the packaging for the black cartridge. Just the black cartridge. There is no Y, there is no K, there is no C included in this. This is one cartridge. It is a pretty hefty puppy. And before I replace it though, I am going to give the original cartridge an old shake-a-shake-a, see if I can get a little bit of extended use out of it. Okay, so I think I finally hit the lifespan on the black cartridge. I want to point out some other things. I'm printing from my Surface Pro 3 using wireless, and when my Surface Pro goes to sleep, or if I push the power button to put it to sleep and conserve energy, it quits communicating with this printer. Now I am printing like a 30-something page mini comic. That could be, it might be too much information for the printer to store, but that is a problem that I am noticing as I'm printing my minis. Very, very easily is what? Just shake it around like this, give it a little shake-a-shake-a. Up and down, left and right. Oh, against the legumes. But it removes and it goes in very easily. Let's see if it can pick up where it left off, or if it's even willing to redo that page. Okay. But yeah, the fact that it quit printing when it quit talking to my computer did cause some skip pages, so that is something to be aware of. It looks like it's resuming from where it left off, so it seems like as long as it still has a good connection with your computer, that should not be an option. So next time I may try printing from my desktop instead. I printed this hefty stack of mini comics, all of which are in black and white, with my, there we go, my HP LaserJet Pro M254DW wireless color laser printer, which I got through Amazon. I've also printed numerous color things, signs, that sort of thing. I am fairly happy with this printer, but I do have a few caveats that I want to mention. If there are any hiccups in your wireless connection, it will affect the print. When I was printing Lilliputian Living, which is the big stack here, it was having interference with my lights, which are on a wireless remote. So if you turn the lights on or off, it would cause hiccups in the print cycle, ranging from missed pages to it completely duplicated the print order at one time, and I was printing 10 books, so I had to cancel that. So that's something to think about. You don't want it on the same surge protector as anything else that is remote control that might work through wireless. And I don't even think these lights work through like the wireless router. So I'm not really sure why they're causing interference, but they consistently do cause interference. So that is definitely an issue to be aware of. This printer is also really hinky about photo paper and cardstock. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to use either of those. And I do because I am stubborn. And I got zines to make, which is not good. If you want it to print cardstock, I recommend you only feed it one page at a time. So if you're printing covers, you got to do it one at a time. It can do lighter colored papers, like the cover for Lilliputian Living is almost a copy weight, and it ran through absolutely no problem. So if you're making mini comics, I do recommend you stay away from cardstock and you go for lighter, like copy weight papers for that. The quality of the colors is good. I apologize, I don't have anything that is color right here, right now, to show you guys. Actually, wait a second. I do. Here's one of the signs I printed. I'm not going to use this one, but the image resolution print quality is really nice. These are watercolor scans. You can see the texture I say texture in air quotes on the paper, and then these are stickers with that sticker paper I told you guys it doesn't like super much, but the quality is really nice. With my Dell printer, I had a problem where the toner would rub off sometimes. That doesn't seem to be an issue here, and I will do kind of I will revisit if this printer starts to malfunction or if I have any sort of problems with it. I only had to change out the black cartridge so far, and usually when they ship printers, they ship them with half-filled carts, and we did order high-yield carts to replace them with, so that should be 3,000 pages right there. But I've also printed a bunch, like a ream plus of just black and white comics. So I'm pretty happy with the print quality, I'm happy with the price, and I'm happy with the yield. So that was sort of a first look quick review of the HP LaserJet Pro M254DW wireless color laser printer with Amazon Dash replacement. It also will communicate with Alexa, so basically when you run out of ink, your printer can order more ink for you. For some of us, that sounds amazing, but you do have the option to turn it off. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. I am a comic artist and illustrator, and I think this printer is a really good fit for my studio. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have any additional questions, please let me know below.